In 2013, I started speaking to college sports teams. And believe it or not, one of the most common things I hear when I come in is that there was a fear of bringing me in because the athletes may not relate to me riding a bicycle. And I want to say this speech, it's not about riding a bike. I don't travel the country and give don't do drugs speeches. I travel the country and I talk about my life story. I travel the country and I talk about the choices that I made. I travel the country and I talk about the attitude that I had and the places that those things led me to. It's a life story about an athlete with world-class potential. And in my senior year, everybody that saw me, if you asked them about me, they would have said, don't worry about Hoff. That dude's gonna go race BMX professionally, he's gonna be super successful. I also am an addict. I come from a family that struggles with addiction and alcoholism, and I bring that story to the athletes. I didn't get to choose. It wasn't my choice. I used to think that drug addicts were people that just lacked willpower. Alcoholics were people that chose that. What I didn't realize was my dad was an alcoholic. His mom, alcoholic. Her dad, drug addict, alcoholic. I got this thing called addiction that runs in my family. I was also an athlete that struggled with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. But most people wouldn't have known that I was struggling with those things because on the exterior, my athletic gift looked like I was doing just fine. I remember I had a volleyball coach one time said, Hoffman, you could be a champion. Don't you want to be a champion? I looked at him and I said, no. I want you to leave me alone. Stop treating me like I'm somebody special. Start treating me like I'm everybody else. I just want to be normal is what I told him.
I can relate to a lot of the things he says. It was moving. It just opens your eyes a little more and realize you're not like the only one that goes through thoughts about this kind of stuff.
I've seen several of these and they aren't significant by any means. This one's going to stand out to me, and it's because it's more relatable.
See, what I didn't realize is that my coach was trying to teach me how to be disciplined at things I didn't want to do. So when I got to do the things I did want to do, I knew how to give it 150% effort.
Everyone's eyes were up. No one was looking at a phone. There were quite a few times you could hear a pin drop.
I walked through this door at 18 years old telling myself, it's just weed, it's not that big of a deal, but here's the catch. When I sat in the seats that you're sitting in, and auditoriums, and I listened to speakers like myself talk, I would say, I'll never be the guy that's holding the microphone. That'll never happen to me.
A lot of athletes get surgeries, and I think it's good to know the information about the drugs that they're putting into their bodies or that doctors are giving them.
She didn't say, Mr. Hoffman, do you have addiction issues? Because this stuff that I'm about to give you called fentanyl is a class 1 narcotic, and it's an opioid medication that could unlock an addiction in your life, and if it does, it will send you on a path where your body loses its ability to make choices like normal people. So would you like to try something that's not narcotic first? I don't blame that nurse, but I specifically tell you guys that story because every one of you guys in here is going to get hurt. From the cover of a magazine to being homeless, committing a home invasion robbery, ending up in prison, which is the best part of my story for athletes because I get to tell them about the mindset change that I went through, that understood that all of the small decisions that we make over time and become disciplined to and create a routine out of is how we become successful. Video review is important. Warming up is important. Cooling down is important. The mindset that we have during those moments are the mindsets that we take into the game. It's what made me successful. It's what took me from a prison cell to the Olympics. One small choice at a time. And that's what I want to tell your athletes about, and that's what athletes are relating to. The emotional stuff that I experienced and the grind and hustle that's made me successful.